Hello everyone, and welcome. Today, we're going to explore how successful companies identify customer needs, respond to market changes, and create innovative solutions to stay competitive. On this first slide, you'll see key steps like understanding customer needs, addressing market shifts, and developing new ideas. For example, Apple introduced the iPhone as a direct response to the growing demand for a user-friendly, multifunctional mobile device. Over the course of this presentation, we'll dive into these strategies and see how they drive business success. So, let's get started. All right, let's talk about the competitive landscape. As you can see, there's intense competition in the industry, which pushes companies to constantly innovate and improve. Having a competitive edge often means offering new and unique products that stand out from the rest. This not only helps attract new customers, but also keeps our existing customers loyal. Continuous innovation is key here. Staying ahead means constantly evolving and introducing fresh ideas. For example, Tesla gained a significant advantage by launching innovative electric vehicles like the Model S. These vehicles combine cutting-edge technology, sustainable energy solutions, and exceptional performance. This approach set Tesla apart in the automotive industry, giving it a clear competitive advantage. Overall, the goal is to differentiate ourselves through innovation, which helps us attract and retain customers in a highly competitive market. This aligns with our broader theme of staying ahead by embracing change and leading with innovation. Now, let's talk about how Coca-Cola has successfully introduced new products to fuel its growth. One key strategy has been product line extension. By expanding its offerings with options like Diet Coke, Coca-Cola Zero, and various flavored beverages, they've been able to cater to a wider range of consumer preferences. This approach not only satisfies different tastes, but also allows Coca-Cola to tap into new markets and demographics. It's a great example of how innovation within a product line can drive revenue growth and keep the brand relevant in a competitive landscape. This ties back to our overall theme of how companies adapt and evolve to maintain their market leadership. Now, let's look at the opportunities for new products. One key driver is investing in research and development. By dedicating resources to R&D, companies can stay ahead of the curve and create innovative solutions. Another crucial aspect is understanding and meeting consumer expectations. For example, Samsung took advantage of technological advancements to launch the Galaxy Fold. This foldable smartphone is a perfect illustration of innovation in action. It not only showcases cutting-edge technology, but also aligns with what consumers now expect from their devices, something futuristic and versatile. This approach helps companies stay relevant in a fast-evolving market, emphasizing the importance of continuous innovation, driven by both technological progress and consumer needs. Preferences are dynamic, meaning they're always changing and evolving. Trends can shift quite rapidly, so it's crucial for brands like Nike to stay adaptable. If we want to remain attractive to consumers, we need to be in tune with what's happening in the market. For example, Nike stays ahead by launching sustainable products like the Nike Flyknit, which is made from recycled materials. This not only responds to the growing demand for eco-friendly options, but also highlights innovation in athletic wear. The key takeaway here is that adaptation to changing trends is essential for maintaining relevance and appeal. It's about being flexible and proactive, ensuring that we meet consumer expectations and stay competitive in a fast-moving marketplace. Now, let's talk about how Amazon's focus on innovative and high-quality products has really strengthened its brand. When Amazon introduced the Kindle, it wasn't just adding a new product to their lineup. They were positioning themselves as an innovative leader in technology. This move showed their commitment to staying ahead of the curve and meeting evolving customer needs. By offering high-quality products like the Kindle, Amazon built trust and fostered loyalty among its customers. People knew they could rely on Amazon for reliable, cutting-edge devices that enhanced their reading experience. All of these efforts contributed to a strong reputation for Amazon as a brand that values innovation, quality, and customer satisfaction. This reputation not only attracts new customers, but also keeps existing ones coming back, reinforcing the overall theme of building a trusted and respected brand. Engineering design builds the backbone of any product. It's all about focusing on the technical aspects, ensuring the functionality is solid and reliable. On the other hand, industrial design adds the soul, that touch of aesthetics, ergonomics, and user-centered thinking. It's what makes products not only work well, but also look and feel great to use. Together, these two elements create a perfect blend, sculpting innovation into products that seamlessly combine form and function. It's this harmony that truly brings ideas to life, making them both practical and appealing. So, when we talk about engineering design and industrial design working hand in hand, we're highlighting the importance of balancing technical precision with aesthetic appeal to deliver products that resonate with users. The industrial design process plays a vital role in making our products more visually appealing, user-friendly, and aesthetically pleasing. It adds a human-centered touch to innovation, which is key to staying competitive in the market. When we focus on good industrial design, we're not just making things look better, we're enhancing the overall experience for the user and making our products stand out. On the other hand, the engineering design process is all about systematically guiding us through creating functional and reliable solutions. It ensures that our products are efficient to produce, dependable in use, and meet the necessary performance standards. Both processes work hand in hand to help us develop high-quality products that are also cost-effective. Now, an important point to remember is that the decisions we make during the design phases have a huge impact on the final cost of the product. Interestingly, changes or decisions early on in the design process cost very little compared to making adjustments later, during manufacturing. But if we introduce defects during design, there's no way to fix that in manufacturing. It's much more costly and challenging to correct mistakes afterward. That's why it's critical to conduct the design process efficiently. We need to aim for developing products that are not only high quality and competitive in cost, but also brought to market in the shortest possible time. Balancing quality, cost, and time is essential to success. In summary, both the engineering and industrial design processes are fundamental. They help us create innovative, attractive, reliable, and cost-effective products, which ultimately keeps us ahead in the competitive landscape. As society becomes more aware of technology and the regulations surrounding it, we see some notable changes in how engineering design is approached. One major shift is the increased influence of lawyers on engineering decisions. This often means engineers need to consider legal implications more carefully to avoid product liability issues. Another important point is that engineers now spend more time planning and predicting the future effects of their projects. This proactive approach helps prevent problems down the line and ensures safety and sustainability. We also see a rise in what's called defensive research and development. Essentially, companies invest in this to protect themselves from potential litigation, which can be costly and damaging to their reputation. Finally, there's a growing emphasis on sustainability, not just for the environment, but also for the long-term viability of products and companies. Overall, these societal considerations are shaping engineering and industrial design to be more responsible, safer, and aligned with our shared values. Let's take a closer look at the different types of design, starting with selection design. This involves the careful and strategic choice of existing components, materials, or technologies. The goal here is to assemble a cohesive and effective solution by thoughtfully integrating the available elements to achieve optimal performance. It's about making smart choices from what already exists to build something functional and efficient. Next, we have redesign. This is an iterative process, meaning it involves revisiting and modifying a pre-existing design multiple times. The main aim is to improve aspects like functionality, efficiency, or aesthetics. Redesign is often driven by technological advancements, user feedback, or evolving needs. It's about refining and enhancing what we already have to better serve its purpose. Then there's adaptive design, which focuses on modifying or tailoring existing solutions to better fit changing circumstances or requirements. It showcases a flexible approach, adjusting and evolving solutions in response to new conditions or challenges. This type of design is especially important in dynamic environments where needs are constantly shifting. Finally, we come to original or innovative design. This involves creating entirely new solutions or concepts that push the boundaries of conventional thinking. It's about addressing specific needs or challenges in a groundbreaking way. Think outside the box to develop something truly novel. Understanding these different types of design helps us see the broader picture of how solutions can evolve, improve, or be created from scratch, all of which are vital to our overall design process. Let's take a moment to compare the scientific method with the design method. Both are fundamental, but they serve different purposes and follow distinct pathways. The scientific method is all about understanding phenomena, testing hypotheses, and refining our knowledge through experimentation. In contrast, the design method focuses on creating solutions, developing concepts, and iterating to improve a product or system. A key component in the design process is what we call the basic module. Think of it as the building block of design. It simplifies complex problems into manageable parts, making the process more structured and efficient. Now, to visualize this, we often use a simplified iteration model. This model highlights how design is inherently iterative, repeating cycles of prototyping, testing, and refining. It's a dynamic process, unlike the more linear scientific method, which tends to follow a more step-by-step path. When we think about the engineering design process, it's helpful to consider different approaches. Some focus on problem-solving, others on innovation, but at the core, both methods involve critical thinking, testing ideas, and continuous improvement. This comparison underscores how flexible and creative engineering can be, blending systematic investigation with inventive problem-solving. Ultimately, understanding these differences and similarities helps us better navigate the complexities of engineering projects and enhances our ability to innovate effectively. So, what this slide highlights is an interesting distinction between science and design. Science is focused on creating knowledge about naturally occurring phenomena and objects, things that exist in the world around us without human intervention. It's about understanding the natural laws and processes that govern our environment. On the other hand, design is concerned with creating knowledge about phenomena and objects of the artificial. That means designing new tools, systems, or objects that didn't exist before, things we purposefully create to serve specific needs or solve particular problems. Herbert Simon, a prize-winning economist, emphasizes this difference by pointing out that science looks inward at the natural world, while design involves shaping and creating new artifacts and solutions. This distinction is important because it connects directly to our overall theme: how we generate knowledge, whether through understanding the natural world or through designing new, innovative solutions to improve our lives. It reminds us that both processes are essential, but they serve different purposes and operate in different realms. Now, let's explore the design paradox between knowledge and freedom. You see, the success of a design often hinges on the perspective of the person defining the problem. This means that how we approach the problem really shapes the entire design process. First, there's the definition of the problem itself, understanding exactly what we're trying to solve. Then, we gather information, collecting all relevant data and insights. Next, we move into generating alternative solutions, coming up with different options to consider. After that, we evaluate these alternatives carefully and make decisions about the best course of action. Once we've decided, we communicate the results clearly to stakeholders or team members. It's important to remember that design is not a linear process. It's iterative. We often go back and refine our understanding, solutions, and decisions as we learn more. This approach is what I like to call a problem-solving methodology. It's structured yet flexible, allowing us to navigate the paradox between having knowledge and maintaining creative freedom. Because ultimately, the way we define and approach the problem influences how much freedom we have to innovate within the process. So, to wrap things up, I want to emphasize how these key points tie together to support the overall theme of our presentation. First, we've seen that understanding the core concepts is crucial for effective implementation. When we grasp these fundamentals, we can make smarter decisions and drive better outcomes. Second, the importance of collaboration and communication cannot be overstated. They are the backbone of successful projects and initiatives. Without clear, open dialogue, even the best ideas can falter. Finally, I want to remind you that continuous learning and adaptation are vital. The landscape is always changing, and staying flexible allows us to stay ahead and innovate. By keeping these principles in mind, we're better equipped to face challenges, seize opportunities, and ultimately achieve our goals. Thank you for your attention, and I look forward to seeing how you'll apply these insights moving forward.